Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Happy Saturday.
Morning,
Good
guys.
morning.
Welcome back to Nostalgia Power, guys. It's been 2 weeks again, man. This time is just flying.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yep. We're just talking right before. We're into March. Thought we were out of the crap, and then last night you got 3 inches of snow dumped on us overnight. But there's light at the end of the tunnel because it's going to be back up in the 70s. But how's everybody doing this morning?
Yeah, pretty good.
Here, right? Alive.
Yeah,
and,
we made it.
We're up.
We made it.
We got out of bed.
Yep, there's a lot of people jumping in the chat already. Game Broker, what's up, man? Jay, Zero, Ted, Stock Jock, he was here bright and early. Mike Hawkhurts. Say that 3 times fast, huh?
Yeah.
So, guys, I wanted to start out in the spirit of nostalgia power. You know, we like to talk about things that are usually happened in the past, and they're saying spirits. Glairzilla, what's up, guys? So, and saying, you be quiet because you'll know the answer to this. But this year, if you guys, I hate to do this to everybody here, but I'm about to make you all feel really old. So this year, a very historic game in the history of video gaming is turning 40 years old. You have any idea what that game is?
It's not Super Mario, is it?
It is Super Mario Brothers.
Wow.
40 years old. Isn't that something? I mean, if that doesn't make you feel old, I don't know what will. Because I'm sure all of us remember playing this game vividly when it was brand new. Like, Jesse, do you remember, like, were you big into
At
Nintendo?
least it's not older than you are, Mike.
Yeah, I remember it well, but I wasn't a big Nintendo gamer. No, I was more Sega than Nintendo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about you, Zod? Like at the time, you
know,
I mean, maybe
I remember being. I remember, it was one of the first. It was one of the first modern home console games I played at the time. I mean, my parents had an Atari,
right,
and then later on, got an NES, and of course, Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt came with it. But yeah, it's so iconic that regardless of its age, I mean, it still holds up to this day. I have to say,
sure.
I still enjoy playing it. To tell you the truth,
it's a fun game, and there was, like you said, with the Atari, that's what most people had, and for home console games, there was nothing like it that was ever in depth before like this. Phil, did you own the Nintendo and Super Mario Brothers as a kid?
Yeah, but I didn't get it till I think 1989. I think it was the combo, the Duck Hunt Mario.
Yeah, I think
I played it on a black and white TV.
Dude, that's funny. So did I.
But I remember the first time I saw it. I went to a mall and they had it, at like a little kiosk, and a bunch of bigger kids playing it. Like I didn't get a chance to, but it was like I've never seen anything like this before. It was crazy.
Yeah, I guess that does mean that Pac-Man then would be 45 years old. Yeah. So then you also had, when you got it, you said you got the combo, so you got Duck Hunt, like Zod said. I mean, what a pack-in game that was, though, huh? You get 2 controllers, you got Mario and Duck Hunt, and you got the gun.
I had the light gun. I mean, Duck Hunt. Yep. I remember my dad used to love to play Duck Hunt when everybody would go to sleep. You'd know what he was doing because you could hear
he was playing by himself.
You could hear the trigger,
Yeah, it was a very distinct sound.
Yeah.
It was like a metallic
and then that dog's laughing at you.
Recoil. Yeah. I think we all wanted to do that dog in, like Old Yeller, right? So
I'm actually really glad that we were never able to shoot the dog for a lot of different reasons. Because number one, if you were able to actually shoot the dog, there would be people that would forego playing Duck Hunt altogether just to be able to kill the dog. That's what they'd be doing. There's some really sick and twisted people out there. So
it would have created an all new generation of
dog haters.
Yeah.
Christy would have loved that game.
Who's that?
It's a political joke.
Oh,
No. You never heard that story?
I missed the name.
Christy Nome.
Oh, Christy Nome. No.
Yeah. She shot her dog.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
And she was a politician, you said?
Yeah, I think she's something in the cabinet now. Homeland Security.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I think I did. Yes, I did hear they had made a joke about this recently, but I didn't get the joke because I didn't know. But
oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah. There you go. The Rob the Robot. That was the original release because they were trying to market the NES to be more than just a video game console.
I didn't know anybody that ever had Rob the Robot, Jay. I didn't know anybody.
Honestly,
who had that.
I've been looking to get one just to add to the collection, but they're not cheap, especially if you can find one that's complete.
Yeah, I would. I'd actually like to know somebody who actually had one. And I always thought in my neighborhood, because literally everybody had a Nintendo, and there were a few people that had like Sega Master System and whatever. And I always wondered, was there anybody that ever had Rob the Robot? But I never knew anybody that did. So it kind of, surprised me. But
yeah, I've heard that.
I mean, if it sucks, that's probably why.
And they really only made 2 games that it could be used with. I mean, I guess you could use it maybe on other games, but there was only 2 games that was ever designed specifically for it. Gyromite and Stack Up, and that was it. Like they didn't really release any other games.
Yeah, because everybody hated it. It sucked.
Yeah. And it's not as cool as it looks. So just put it that way. Well, guys, I want to make you feel old one more time. I'm sorry.
Excellent.
And this actually made me feel older than the Super Mario thing. Star Wars Episode 7 is turning 10 this year.
Holy cow!
Wow. The Force Awakens is.
And I remember when me and my nephew went to the theater to see this, and my nephew was young, was so young.
That went fast.
Now he's a grown man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It did. It went really fast.
Yeah,
if you'd have asked me, I'd have been like, yeah, it probably came out like 6 years ago, 5, 6. No. Then you start thinking about what all they've released since then. 10 years. So of the sequel trilogy, would you say that this one was the best one?
It was the only one that mattered.
Kind of. Yeah.
It's just tough that Han Solo gets killed at the end. It's just that was a tough one.
I know.
I watched that Christmas Eve. Like that one hurt. That was
yeah. Well, that was
but I mean, at least he went out like Han Solo would go out on his own terms. So in that regard, it was good. But hopefully they will, retcon the sequel trilogy and allow for other stories that make more sense in the general context of the Star Wars that we know. Hopefully.
Yeah, he's okay with turning red, but he doesn't want to do Star Wars anymore. Like,
I mean, that's a big
he didn't want to do Star
him,
Wars after the first movie.
You're right.
Yeah.
That was the whole reason why they put him in Carbonite.
He was looking for any way to get
the hell out of Star Wars.
They weren't sure that he was going to come back for Return of the Jedi. That was their out.
Yeah.
In case he said, no, I'm not doing it. Like, we'll just leave him there in Carbonite the whole time. And that would have been interesting, though, had he not come back. What would they have done?
They would have hired another actor to play a Han Solo type character. You probably would have got Dash Rendar a lot earlier.
That's exactly who I was going to suggest. Yeah, Dash Rendar. That would have been.
I think it would have been detrimental to his career, though, if he didn't. I think he's as big as he is today because of that.
Jesse's right.
Yeah,
100%. I mean, did you guys see Harrison Ford in that god-awful Captain America movie? Jesus Christ. Like, I mean, come on.
No, I didn't either.
Like he was like Harrison Ford was popping pills like Viagra in the movie, and it was just like it was unbelievable to me. I was like, what the hell am I watching? I don't know.
No, I have yet to see that yet, but I haven't heard too many good things about it.
What a waste. What a waste. Red
Yeah,
Hulk is in it.
Yes.
Red Hulk is in it for like all of 3 minutes. It's like, I just, you know
Boy,
what, whatever.
you would think,
What,
like,
whatever.
based on the
Boy, I'm
trailers
not going to
alone.
watch this now.
Yeah, Marvel, man, what happened to them, huh? They a shell of their former selves, I guess, huh?
That's
Yeah.
what happens. Look at Arcade 1-Up. I mean, it's just if something goes on long enough, you know.
PD7, I gotta ask you, man, because you just made a great comparison. You brought up Arcade 1-Up and compared Arcade 1-Up to the MCU. So I gotta ask you, where do you think Arcade 1-Up hit its peak? Like, because if you say the MCU, you could say with Endgame. After Endgame, that's when things started to go downhill, literally. So
I would say 2021.
Is that
Okay,
the
but
Simpsons,
with
X-Men?
what-
Simpsons, X-Men,
I would agree with you.
Turtles, and then
Yep,
it
they
just
were-
led to what
They
we
were
got Ridge
dropping
Racer,
them all over the place. Yep.
you know, and then
Yeah.
getting to the, you know, the higher, you know, more NBA jams, NFL
okay,
Blitz,
and
then it just
what's the best cab they've ever released? What's Arcade 1-Up's end game in terms of cabinets?
That's a tough one there. I mean, the Star Wars.
I mean,
cabinet
I
was
would say
really
the
good.
Star. I would
That
have to
was
say
pretty
like the Star
early.
Wars. If you ask me, I'd have to say like for the, you know, from the traditional scale, you know the 3/4 scale arcades. I would say Star Wars. But then overall, I'm always going to say the Defender Partycade, because that's the one that that was good too. That they got damn near perfect. And if they would have made more cabinets like that, they probably would be in a lot higher standing. So
yeah, there's a couple other good ones.
There was never any continuality with this company. Like they brought us to
right. It makes no sense. All the potential of like super like stuff that people wanted in the sense that people were clamoring. I mean, my God, they got fans like you, Phil, that cover everything that they had. So to me, it's almost like, why would they go in that direction and just like downward spiral for no reason? It's kind of like Star Wars. Star Wars had the world by the balls when first Force Awakens came out. Everybody was all hyped up again, even if they didn't really like everything about Force Awakens. Everybody agrees that it was still a good foundation.
Yeah, right. They set the groundwork.
Right. So how do you do that? And then you just like piss it all away. So much money that you're just like letting flush down the toilet, and you're literally watching billions of dollars just like sift down the toilet bowl. It's ridiculous.
I think it's the people at the top not knowing what the hell they were doing.
And
in both cases.
Retailers for
in both cases, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thinking they know.
And here's the thing: is the Casino-cade the Last Jedi of Arcade 1-Up? Because you know it's a valid, you know, it's a valid comparison, because who the hell wanted that Casino-cade other than Jesse's wife? I don't.
Yes, I think they've both kind of lost their way a little bit.
Because one customer is not going to.
No.
I think it happened before the Casino-cade.
Yeah,
I think it was Marvel versus Cap.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, right here. It was this one right here.
Oh, or was it okay?
Marvel
so was it
Capcom.
Marvel versus Capcom 2, or was it NFL Blitz? Because think of the money that they spent on those licenses. Yes, that was too much money funneling out and not enough money coming in. It's just simple business.
And that's what you kind of worry about with other companies going forward, is don't do too much too soon.
Yeah.
Don't just
maybe I'm in the minority, but I love Blitz. I can deal with the
you have the team encoder.
I didn't get that. No, I didn't do that
Christmas
yet.
Blitz. I mean, because you got to do that, Mike. You got to do that. I mean, and then you got to do a video, because we need to see. We need to know.
I'll be like Lumberg here. I'm gonna kind of disagree. I think these are meant for what we got them for. If I could go back, and you're all gonna, I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot. I would not have done any changes to any of my arcades. I would have left them stock. Besides, like the marquee, maybe buttons and.
What about coin doors? Would you put coin doors on them?
that kind of stuff. But as far as
Yeah,
like
like
putting a
cosmetic stuff.
racing box in there, I miss
Yeah,
having my stock Fast and Furious. I do. I almost bought it again just to get
to
that
have the original.
You know, the more we mess with these things, it's not. They just work differently. It's not
going
the
back
same.
to Zero's comment here. He got the casino kid for $100. Now, if you can get it for $100, I mean that's definitely
if
worth it.
if I could get it for $100, I know somebody that I would buy it for in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
that would really like it. And that to me. But again, you know, it's one of those things where it's a very niche, you know, people that are going to like, again, you know, Jesse, like your wife is in that category of people that's for that would enjoy something like that.
Yeah.
So to me, they're not wrong for trying to approach another demographic, but the idea is that it's just not, you know.
Yeah, but you know what's funny? I thought of this. If it wasn't for me being into Arcade 1-Up, she would never have known that was out.
That's a great point. Yeah,
the average person
that
would have been marketed for would have never have known.
No,
I mean, is it going to be like an impulse buy at the Ollie's checkout?
Exactly.
You see all these you see all these like pallets of casino cades just stacked on top of each other. Like, oh yeah, we got a whole thing of them. I mean, if anything deserves the Ollie's NFL Blitz treatment, it's the casino cade. Start selling those things for $34.95 and they'll sell like hotcakes, bro. Like you sell them all out.
It's
I don't know. That thing I could see that being fun, but I think the problem with it was just that it was released so late in the game, and everybody was probably in the same situation.
And
very limited on space, and like, am I gonna buy this? And like if I'll have to rearrange everything, and I'd be taking up valuable real estate on something that that you can't have nostalgia for because it never existed.
And then of course the whole elephant in the room, the whole no offline play. You have to be connected to the internet, and it's like, who the hell wants that for something like that? For what purpose?
Well, they fixed that now. So
I know. But that was a big detractor.
It was
from anybody who may have been willing to potentially pay the price that they were charging for it. And and that's why I say, right about now, if you could get it for $100, I think that's a reasonable deal. That would be great.
$199 I think that's a good price.
You can't go wrong for $199.
Yes. If it were me, $34.95. Yes.
$200, I'd get it.
Get the infomercial ready.
Right now.
Todd Ryder's Home Arcade Emporium. I got them all, and we are slashing the prices. Yo, this is going to be great. We're gonna give you NFL Blitz for $14.95.
Yeah,
that's right.
We're practically giving it away.
We are giving it away pretty much, because we're charging $14.95 is literally like gifting you to take it the hell out of our lot. That's what it is.
We'll pay you
an idea. Give me an idea. Infomercials. Yep. Try to get rid of all the overstocked inventory.
Because they've got that overstocked inventory. Like Phil, I think about you and that whole Miss Pac-Man scenario. There's a reason why people were able to get those deluxe Miss Pac-Mans. It's simply because they have an overstock.
Well,
they're just like
a mistake. And I did notice that until yesterday, people were still able to get them.
Yeah.
I'm
glad you got it though, because that to me, it's always good to see you get them because you cover them the way that they're supposed to be covered.
We all get one thing. Mike got a Shack Jam for what $300?
$20. Yep, $320.
People got Killer Instinct for $149.
I got the Defender Party Cade for free.
Wow,
we all get something. It's just what cabinet. It's only going to happen once, and it's just if we follow it enough,
you'll stumble lucky somewhere, right?
Yeah, it's a whole concept of like this tapestry of how many of these arcade 1-ups do we want to have, and how many of them are just like dire necessities. Like I remember when you were hunting, Phil, for for a golden axe. And I knew you were going to get it. I knew you were eventually going to get a golden axe, but it was just the idea of how you kept talking about, well, there's no online, but you still wanted the cabinet. The cabinet was still important to you, and the fact that you got one, was great to see, because it was a rarity in a sense.
Knowing that it's not going to be there forever, that pushes you to want to buy something.
Right.
That's where Elio. I mean, you got KI for 150. Any of us in the chat, if something becomes available on Marketplace or on sale, whether we want it or not, we're gonna get it because we don't want to miss that like this
deals, man. They're too hard. They're too hard to turn down. If you find a good deal,
that's our weakness.
And Quarter Deck got it for 150 also. I got a virtual handshake out of that one, or high five.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I didn't really want to bash Walmart. But because when I bought my Ms. Pac-Man, they were out of clearance. I couldn't get them to price match to $225, so I paid $299. So there is that dilemma that some people got it for $299, some people got it for $225. I could not. I thought I had this agreement. They were not going to. They knew they screwed up, and they weren't going to reimburse anybody after the fact. So things aren't always like, cut the way you think they are, but it's still a decent price.
Oh yeah, that's right. Simpsons was dirt cheap for a minute there, huh?
I got mine for $199 at Walmart.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I was one of the ones that got the T2 for really cheap too, because it wasn't originally it was $6.99, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I want to say I might have paid $2.99 for it, or maybe $3.99. I can't remember what it.
I remember what it went down to. $3.15 for a while at Best Buy.
Yeah, that's what I bought. I remember buying it twice because I bought it, and then a week later, those crazy low prices happened, and then I bought that one again, and then returned the one that I paid like $500 for. My wife comes down, and I got two T2s sitting in box. Yeah, man. So the deals were out there. I remember that was always a big talking point, was where the deals were going to happen. And that seems like so long ago now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, guys, we were having fun, and I don't want to, I almost don't want to bring this up now because I don't want to drag the show down. But it's worth bringing up because I'm wondering if you guys heard about this. How about, did you read this story? Did you see this about Gene Hackman?
Yeah. It's a shame.
Him and his wife both passed away. I mean, he was,
I
think 95, but
and their dog.
Yeah, the whole situation surrounding
the more you dig on this, it just gets
right. And if you don't know, we won't bring up all the details, but I mean, he was the original Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
That's
where I know him from.
You just hate to see people in a lot of great out this way. Like it hurts. It hurts someone role models we've looked up to that just this is how it's crazy. You would have never thought.
Yeah, they think she died first.
I just heard that. I didn't want to talk about this.
Didn't he have Alzheimer's?
Yeah, bad.
Yeah, and she was sitting there for a while. I guess she was in the house for a period of time, and then he died on his own. And then the dog,
they speculate that she died. And then she couldn't care for him, so he lived for a week longer, but couldn't take any of his medication or couldn't feed himself. And that's probably what happened to the dog too, because he was in a cage because he had just came back from the vet. So they were keeping him in a cage, and then he couldn't access water or food. So,
but you would think somebody that's as like rich and stuff as that would have like caretakers and people looking after the property, looking after the animal, looking after them, right? Because they're old and sick, and
Well, I think the kids said that they lost connection with them. They didn't. They were kind of like hermits. It seemed like they didn't really.
She was fairly younger. Significantly younger than him. She was in her 60s only, I think.
She was in her 60s, yeah.
So maybe that's why. Maybe they figured she was.
That's what I thought too.
Young enough to
thinking, well, she's young enough, yeah.
But obviously, when something freakish like that happens, and then he's on his own,
it's definitely
it's terrible to read that. But it was
it was a shock.
Lex Luthor. So did you guys, maybe we'll buzz through this real quick. At least I'll try to. So Arcades Anonymous and Gamer Fridge, who's here, they're
What's
doing
up,
a little tournament. Did you guys hear? Do you guys know anything about this? So what they got going on is in the spirit of March Madness basketball, they're doing a tournament trying to rank the greatest consoles of all time. And there's there's brackets out there that everybody can download and all that. And I was on with Gamer Fridge on Monday, and they were doing a handheld version, him and Nerd Lounge Master 84. And they did the console version on Wednesday, and I figured that might be kind of fun. I mean, we won't have enough time for everybody. I think there's 32 consoles on here, but we could the three of you, since the three of you haven't done one, but I did, can maybe we can do like a official nostalgia power bracket. There's a lot of good stuff on here. Like they did, look at this. I mean, there's two sides to this thing. Maybe we could buzz through them real quick and just to see what, we'll take like a group vote maybe. And even the chat can then chime in. But the first one is the Atari 2600 and the Vectrex. You guys, I'm sure you guys know what the Vectrex is, right?
Yeah. I would love to have one.
So would I. I mean, yeah. I don't remember one as a kid, but as a collector, I would.
I remember as a kid being in the hospital. I had a surgery on my legs as a kid, and I remember playing that system, the Vectrex, and it was I think they had one game for it at the hospital. It was Asteroids. But I don't have any other memories of that system.
Well, your memories fond enough, or you would rank it ahead of the Atari 2600 in a
no
do or die situation? Phil,
no.
What about you?
No, Atari
2600 all day long.
Yeah.
What do we have here? The and Stock Jock and Gamer Fridge, if you're there. Some of these I'm not going to be able to recognize right off of
that
picture.
Looks like a Coleco Vision.
The ColecoVision and
the Intellivision.
And the Intellivision, yeah.
Yeah, the Intellivision and the ColecoVision, which I've never played either one of them. But
I would have to go with the ColecoVision.
Yeah, I didn't.
I had neighbors who had ColecoVision.
Did you? So you have Jesse? Have you played either one of them?
Not one. Nope.
Neither one of them. Phil, what about you?
Does Coleco have the TV remote style? Is that
it looks like it almost has an. No, that's the Coleco down here. The Intellivision has like a looks like an old phone. Has like the buttons on it. And
that's the one I
spinner.
played. I would go with that. I played Frogger on that.
The Intellivision and Zod says the Coleco. Stock Jock says Intellivision.
Well, I remember. I do remember trying the Intellivision. I don't know if I don't know. I remember I had a neighbor who had that too. So I don't know. I guess you could go with the Intellivision.
He says he doesn't. That's the ColecoVision. It's difficult to look through at the picture. Or maybe it's not a ColecoVision. Maybe this is the ColecoVision down here.
Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll go with the Intellivision.
They look like calculator.
Okay. It kind of does. This is the Commodore 64. That might be the ColecoVision.
I love the Commodore 64. I got to put the Commodore 64 over
Me
the
too. All day long.
And twice on Sunday.
Yep.
Phil, already got two for the ColecoVision or the Commodore.
Yeah, I'll just go 6.
I've never played either one of them again. This one, okay. Now we got the Sega Master System and the Atari 7800.
Sega Master System for sure. For sure.
Yeah, Atari kind of peaked at the 2600. I think they're 5200 and the 7800. I don't think they really sold well at all. This one's
neither did the Master System in North America, but at least people actually had the Master
Right,
System.
I knew people that had a Master
I knew
System.
people, yeah. Like it's like
I didn't even know the 7800 existed till years later. I'm like,
I had a cousin who swore by the Master System as the greatest, home console of all time. He loves the Master System. So yeah, I had a lot of experience with that system.
this one.
Well, there's no comparison.
Well, I mean,
here.
I don't even want to. Yeah, the NES.
I mean, this is where this is the tough thing.
16.
Well, is that a TurboGrafx 16? I mean, automatically, it's unfair to pit the TurboGrafx 16 against the NES. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
I mean, TurboGrafx 16 is great. I love it. It's one of my favorite consoles.
Sure.
But
and it may have won around in a different.
How the hell can you? How the hell can you? I mean, no.
Yeah. That's a very tough first round draw for the TurboGrafx 16. So okay, this is I may need help on the chat on this one because I have no clue what either one of these are.
Is that
computer
like an
A
Apple
versus computer B?
Apple IIe against like an Amiga or a
go with the green one.
Go green.
I'm sorry.
Go green, Phil.
NES will go all the way. Are there seeds for the consoles? Are there seeds for the consoles? No, I think this was made by Gamer Fridge. I think this was all randomly generated.
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate in some ways.
Yeah,
go green.
Oh, wait till you see some of the other matchups. Yeah, we'll just for the sake of time, because like it's going to win the next round anyways, right?
No.
Nope.
Right. And what do we got here? The Nintendo 64, and is that the Atari Jaguar?
It's not even close. It's not even close. Oh God, Nintendo 64 all the way. Definitely. Come on.
Yeah.
That can't happen.
Another thing, the Jaguar was one of those systems where you kind of forget that it was a thing for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the games were so like majority mediocre.
He said click presentation mode at the bottom, it'll make it bigger.
There you go.
All right. So, oh, look at that.
Oh.
Well, nobody ever accused me of being good with technology. So this might help figuring out what's what.
Yeah.
It's still not this, though. We picked the green one.
Yeah, I'd still go green.
It's going to go up, get slaughtered against the NES. So, all right. So then here we go. The Neo Geo versus the original
Xbox.
It's the original Xbox.
I'm gonna go with Neo Geo on this.
Ooh,
I think Neo Geo is better than Xbox, but I'm more of a fan of the types of games that you got for the Neo Geo, and the pedigree of the Neo Geo is just beyond reproach. It's too expensive, and a lot of people still to this day cannot get it. But yeah, I gotta say, I love Neo Geo, man.
Unfortunately,
wow.
Since we are doing this as a community, as a group, the votes were 2-1 to the Xbox. So the Xbox is going to.
What about you?
Well, I think when I did my bracket, I think I did choose the Xbox too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's the Xbox.
It's
I don't expect to win everything.
I don't think I ever played the Neo Geo. I mean, that was one of them ones that you were a rich kid if you had the Neo Geo.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. As a kid, nobody knew anybody that actually had one because it was too damn expensive. I played
all the mainstream games, the mainstream consoles, the ones that everybody had. Here we go, right here. This is back into the 70s for the Atari 2600 or the Intellivision.
I have to go Atari.
Yeah, Atari.
Atari was pretty groundbreaking for its time.
Yeah.
Was it one of the first, if maybe the first home console?
This is a tough one for Zod.
Yeah,
I think I know where you're going to lean on this one.
Commodore 64 or the Master System?
I got to go with Commodore 64 because for me, I played so many games on the Commodore 64. My
too.
childhood was built on the Commodore 64. That was the first family computer that we ever had, and I have to say, I learned how to program. I learned how to hack. I learned how to do all kinds of things on that Commodore 64, and I will never forget it. It is an indelible part of my life. So, I unfortunately. Sega Master System cannot compete with the juggernaut that is the Commodore 64.
Is that I thought I heard Jesse? Was that you too? For
Absolutely, yeah.
thumbs
I don't think I just said any better than Zod.
That's it's got 2 votes, so it's got here. Okay, do we pick in whatever this is over this square gray box, this boring looking thing?
No.
How about this one
tough,
there,
Mike? This is
this is tough for y'all. Y'all with your Nintendo.
I know which way my loyalties lie.
Where are we at here, guys? I'm going N64.
I have to go Xbox.
I gotta go Xbox too. I know. I'm going Xbox.
Xbox. It is. I can't believe it. Because if I cast my vote, since I already put my bracket, it would create a tie. So that's why I wanted to do it between the 3 of you, because that way we couldn't have a tie. It pains me to do this, but the majority speaks and the Xbox wins. This should be a tough matchup, I think, anyways.
Ooh.
Maybe not. As much as you guys were speaking on the Commodore 64.
Yeah. It would still be Commodore 64 for me.
Because
I spent way more time on the Commodore 64.
Right, me too. The Atari was a nice console.
Yeah,
but that Commodore 64, I mean, you learned a lot about life if you had a Commodore 64 at that time. I mean,
well, Phil, I'm just curious to hear your opinion, anyways. I mean, I personally would have picked the 2600.
Yeah, I probably would too, Mike, but I'd go 64 just because for nostalgic purposes. I'd say 64.
And here we go. This is a pretty heavyweight matchup right here.
If you guys pick Xbox, I
won't allow it to go on.
I'm quitting the show. Okay, this
end in stream right now.
Nostalgia power. What are you talking about here?
I got bad news for you, man.
Let's hear it. Go ahead.
For me, it's definitely Xbox.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Zod, I'm assuming obviously Nintendo and Phil.
I'm gonna go NES just because if it wasn't for the NES, we probably wouldn't have this Xbox.
We wouldn't be here. We wouldn't. There wouldn't be the stealth power.
If you would have asked me when Xbox came out, what are we going to 2001? I would go Xbox all the way. But now, years later, I got to say NES.
I wasn't really a Nintendo fanboy though. That's why.
Then that's fair.
The controllers are completely they poke you with the rectangle. They're not comfortable, but it's an NES. Again, if it wasn't for the NES,
it's on the Mount Rushmore of video games, I think. Yeah, that's fair, Jesse. I mean, my brackets probably had a lot of crazy picks because a lot of the consoles I just never played or had no nostalgia for whatsoever.
Exactly.
All right, guys, look at this one.
Again, the NES.
You know where I'm going. So
we got one for the NES, one for the Commodore 64.
Yeah.
Zod, Ryder, it's up to you.
I'm going. I gotta go NES because as much of a huge part of my childhood the Commodore 64 is.
I'm crushed.
The NES defined childhood for me. So listen. Yeah, I got to go. Unfortunately, I got to go with NES.
That puts the NES.
That's the only system that could trump the Commodore 64.
That puts it in the final. So we're on the eastern side of the bracket. U? Yes, that is the Wii U.
Pick the PlayStation 2 over it in a heartbeat.
PlayStation 2 all the way. Again, it's not even a contest.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, that PlayStation 2 is
on this one, I'm going with Dreamcast, guys. I love the Dreamcast.
What do you
I
guys
had
think?
one.
What is that? The 360
I miss
and
it.
the
Oh my god.
and the Dreamcast.
That's
I never
Jesse. Which
never
one
played
you
the
going?
Dreamcast much. So
It has to be Xbox.
that was my pick. I didn't.
I've had
only 'cause
every
I didn't
single
play
Xbox.
Dreamcast.
So.
I had them all. I had them all too, Jesse. But I mean, Dreamcast. I mean, that was ahead of its time.
The Xbox 360 was my last DVD player. I'm going.
Xbox.
Was it really?
Yes.
That's
I'm going 360.
2-1. 2-1 for the Xbox.
All right.
And we got. How about the GameCube? That's another one I never really got into.
It's got to be the one.
I'm gonna go with
The
Xbox
One.
I'm gonna go with Xbox. You're gonna get me on an Xbox, but I never cared for the GameCube.
There's some people out there that
didn't have one.
GameCube has its own little fan base.
Yeah.
And I would like to have one just for nostalgia purposes. I mean, then the little discs, that was pretty cool.
I mean, one thing though, going back, speaking of Dreamcast, did you guys see that these brilliant developers have made a version of Grand Theft Auto 3 that runs on the Dreamcast? Have you guys seen that?
No.
Fantastic.
Gee. What's that? The Sega Saturn.
Ooh, this is original. This is tough. This is tough for me because I had both of these, and I will tell you right now, I still have both of them, and God, I love them both equally. I don't know.
There's no doubt you would rather just because you would want a Sega CD just to have it at home, but at the end of the day, you got to pick PlayStation. I mean, it's PlayStation. This changed everything. Think about it. It was N64 or PlayStation.
Yeah.
And I went I was on Team PlayStation then.
I stayed with Nintendo for one more system to that N64. I'm kind of glad I did looking back on it, but
Final Fantasy VII.
All the Japanese fighting games for Sega Saturn and the damn X-Men versus Street Fighter, and oh my God, they played
NFL Blitz for PlayStation, hands down. That was the best.
So we got what, Phil?
Well, I got
PlayStation.
No. I'm gonna go with. I gotta go with PlayStation as well because my favorite beat 'em up game ever for Fist of the North Star came out on PlayStation PS1, and I still play it to this day, and I love it. So yeah, I gotta go with PlayStation.
Jesse, just curious to hear your opinion, even though PlayStation
it's gonna
wins.
Be Sega. I was more of a Sega player.
You would have went with the Saturn?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, yep. And here we go. This is another heavyweight fight right here, but for me, it's an easy choice. I'm a PlayStation guy, but
I'm going with Xbox here.
What about the other guys, Jesse?
It's Xbox.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't, because I've never played either one of these. Now I'm at a point where it's just
because I love playing Flight Simulator on the.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we Nostalgia Power's official pick is the Xbox, and here we go with the PlayStation 3.
Oh, the Switch all the way, guys. It's the Nintendo Switch.
I'm going with PlayStation 3. 100%.
Then means Jesse with the tiebreaker vote here.
What's the other one? I can't see it.
The Nintendo Switch or the PlayStation 3?
Well, I never played the Switch, so I'd have to say the PlayStation 3.
The PlayStation it is.
Yeah.
And we got another PlayStation Nintendo matchup, the PlayStation 4 versus the original Nintendo Wii.
PlayStation 4 all the way.
Yeah.
My God, man.
Yeah. Wii was kind of innovative, but
Wii was such a gimmick.
The Wii was fun for about a month.
Yeah,
a month, and then nobody ever touched it again. It's in every old person's closet. It's just sitting there.
Look at this match. This should have been a Final Four matchup.
Exactly.
Right,
this is no way.
This might just
you can't even
break
pick
the universe here.
Pick one over another.
I guess it's just what you had as a kid.
This is insane. And you know what? I didn't have a Sega Genesis as a kid. I grew up with a Super Nintendo, and I played Sega Genesis at people's houses, and even I am looking at this like, yo, I mean,
this is too early to match these two up.
I know it is.
I don't.
Should have never happened.
No way, not in the first round.
They did I guess they did random shuffling of the brackets. So I can't believe it. Yeah, you get to have to make the choice between the Genesis and the Super Nintendo already. One of them has to go home.
Jesse, where are you going?
This one I'm a little stuck on, to be honest with you.
yeah.
I want to say Sega, but like there's a part of me that's saying NES, Super NES.
Yeah, you're
Well, how about this? How about this, Phil? Are you really
Metroid.
trying to get into collecting Sega Genesis cartridges again?
Well,
Because
I was,
love
but
Sega
then Arcade
Genesis.
showed up.
Yeah. Just because I have to go with the Sega. I kind of feel that the other one is better but I don't know.
All right, we got one
I have
for
to go with
Sega.
I played it more, so
I'm going Sega. I don't know.
You know what? Yeah,
So
I had Super Nintendo growing up, and I gotta go with Sega.
You know what the thing is Sega
unanimous.
was for the older kids.
Yeah,
when we were kids,
Yeah.
like the Super Nintendo was perfect. Sega was just like it had that edge.
Yeah,
if we were having this discussion as kids, the results might be different.
Right.
But as adults,
if we're in 1992 right now, we're picking the Super Nintendo.
We're all picking
right
Super
now,
Nintendo.
It's Sega Genesis.
Sega.
Yeah, Sega.
Well, you guys might be surprised to learn that I picked the Super Nintendo.
yeah.
You might be shocked at that.
I am.
How
That
about
doesn't
this?
sound right.
Yeah, I know. The PS2 and the 360.
I'm going with PS2.
Pretty groundbreaking for its time, that PS2.
Everybody loves the PS2,
Has
even to
library,
this day.
Not that I'm trying to sell it.
Well, I think that during the time, like these two were out at the exact same point.
No DLC, no,
online
paid,
play started becoming a thing at that time.
No paid DLC, no BS. You actually bought a full game. This was the last console where you actually bought a full game and had access to the full game when you purchased it. You didn't have to spend all this additional money.
Online play was a bonus. It wasn't like a focus of the game.
Yeah. It's PS2 all
You're
the way.
picking PS2, Phil, Jesse. What do you guys think?
PlayStation 2.
I have to go with Xbox.
Well, luckily,
I wasn't
PlayStation wins this
player,
round, but there are other Xboxes, and here's another. Here we go, right here, the original PlayStation.
Oh
Is
yeah,
it going to be able to?
PS1 was so much more groundbreaking than the Xbox One. The Xbox One was just, the Xbox One was such a failure that they had to update it and put out another version of the Xbox One because the Xbox One was it's not even a contest. I mean, yeah, PlayStation
one for PlayStation. Phil,
I'm just looking at Hungry Wolf's comment. I would take an Xbox, the OG, over the 360, and that's the thing. Jesse is going back. I think that was like the console. Like if you had the original Xbox, the 360 wasn't quite the same.
Well, I have them all, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
I think I enjoyed playing the Xbox more than the 360.
Well, there was definitely, I believe, better games for the 360 than there was when the one came out.
I don't know. It's tough. Right now, I'm going PlayStation.
Yeah, you got to look at it, from a perspective of being in that time. Like, obviously, technologically, the Xbox destroys the original PlayStation. But, yeah, at the time...
There was a Turtles game for Xbox, and then there was the Justice... Like, I just played so many, like, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Like, that was all Xbox. Like, there's the memories with that. It's hard to pick the 360 over that, even though you could play the games on either, but...
How about this? Another... Yeah, they're all PlayStation Xbox matchups right now. What do you guys think about this one? Jesse,
I have to go with Xbox because, like I said, I'm big into flight sim. So
yeah,
What
about
PlayStation?
It's up to you, Zod.
I'm going with PlayStation.
Yeah, we are a PlayStation group, apparently. Sorry, Jesse.
That's okay. I'll go stand in the corner.
Yeah, Xbox is good too, guys. PS4 and the Genesis.
This is where nostalgia just like it wins, Mike. I mean, we're reaching a point. We already know who's going to win this whole thing. That's the problem. Is we already know what the number one.
How are you going to get there, right? What's it going to match up against it?
You go Sega right now. I mean,
guys, Sega Genesis.
If it beat the Super Nintendo, it's got to beat the PS4, right?
It does. It does. Give me a break. Yeah, Sega Genesis.
PS4 was great, but Genesis is iconic.
Yeah.
There's a.
This is tough though.
This is
tough. Do you go nostalgia or do you go better system?
I'm going nostalgia. I'm going to say PS1.
I'm with you. I'll stick nostalgia too.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Would you?
Mm-hmm.
I actually, guys, I think I picked the PS2 over the PS1 in this matchup.
Really?
Just because I had the PS2, I didn't have the PS1 until later.
Well, that's why, because you didn't have the PS1.
Well, the Genesis just beat the PS4, so I would have to think. All logic says that it should also beat the PS3, right?
It is
100%.
Genesis is the PlayStation slayer. It beat the 3, beat the 4.
Yeah, get the hell out of here.
Can it beat the 1 though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Genesis,
without a doubt.
Yeah.
Genesis does.
It's Genesis versus NES. I mean,
does Genesis.
Your final.
Yeah. What does Genesis does? What Nintendo don't? Is it true?
No.
Now NES.
The NES still wins. The NES still wins.
NES had the championship before we
because if it wasn't for the NES, we wouldn't have the Sega Genesis. And you have to realize
we wouldn't have any
that NES got all of us to that point where it was like, okay. So unfortunately,
it's for the
painful.
NES.
It's painful, but I gotta go with NES.
Jesse, would your pick have been if you were filling out your own personal bracket?
Yeah.
The Genesis.
Yeah, because I the only time I played on the NES or any Nintendo was at my best friend's house. He was more Nintendo. I was more Sega.
So. Well, that means with 2 votes to 1, the NES takes it. It may not be the prettiest. It may not be the brightest. But for all it's worth, the NES with its incredible game library and just its place in video game history.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I think most of the brackets I've looked at either had the NES in the finals or winning it all. I mean, yeah, it shouldn't really come as a surprise, but there you go.
No,
I mean,
that was good.
We did it as a group, so
it's kind of the Coca-Cola of soda.
Yeah.
All right, Pepsi's Sega's the Pepsi, and we could have this argument all the time. Nintendo's Coke, Sega's Pepsi. You know what's your pick?
I will Gamer Fridge, the official Nostalgia Power greatest video game console of all time is the NES. And Jesse, you don't have to sign off on that. That's okay.
Yeah, I won't.
I ain't doing it now.
Jesse's like, I won't.
No, not put my John Hancock on that crap.
The brightest, yeah. Well, I mean,
that crap.
See you, Ralphie.
See you, Ralphie.
Guys, we are already approaching an hour. I can't believe. I knew this was going to go pretty fast. Well, how about this? We'll go to a quick commercial. We'll come back and we'll just plow through some of this list that I want to show you guys, so we can have some good laughs.
All right.
I may take a little longer break. I gotta
get a cup of
coffee. I will be back. I promise.
All right, we got 2 minutes and 18 seconds. All right, Phil. We'll see you guys on the other side.
I may, Jay. I may.
And now this message.
Here's Milky, the marvelous milking cow. It's fun to milk her, gonna do it right now. She drinks the water when we pump her tail. She's raising her head, it's milking time now. Her pretend milk is a feeling the pail.
She drinks water and gets pretend milk.
Milky, the marvelous milking cow. Milky, the marvelous milking cow with pretend milk tablets. She's new from Kenner.
Wacky Action Bike! Wild Wacky wild, wacky action bike is almost impossible to steer and it glows in the dark. Gonna try to ride it all day long, but I'm gonna fail 'cause it's wild, wacky action bike. You can't ride it, wild, wacky action. Wild, wacky action bike
is too much. To find out, we crammed everything into Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. 60 more levels, massive enemies, huge Yoshi tricks, all served up with the latest graphic technology, Morphmation. No more. Sure you don't have room for another little bonus level? Super Mario World 2, only on the Super NES. Still the big one.
Sorry, guys. I had to add
Those
that
are
last
awesome.
commercial in here because it kind of fits with the theme of like, what the hell were they thinking?
Yeah.
You know, could you believe that was a Super Mario World 2 ad? That was totally disgusting. You know, the 2 commercials were from South Park. I may have to edit those out later. We'll see once the I get my feedback from YouTube back, if I'm allowed to have those on there.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll see. But how about that first one with that cow? I've never seen that before.
I did. I remembered it clearly.
Remember that?
Yeah.
It's like, what in God's name?
I do remember it.
Just milk the cow, huh? Just for fun.
Yeah. I remember the commercial, everything.
Oh, there you go. That's pretty cool, Mike. That WWE's launching the WCW channel, and you're right. They were pretty. I mean, they were okay, but yeah, when Paul and Nash and the NWO showed up, I mean, that changed everything. All right, guys, so we can get on our way. We will look at some inappropriate kids' toys.
Yeah.
Some of these you may have seen, some of them you may have not, but all of them you're going to sit there and go, what the? This one wasn't so bad. I really don't. It's just a super soaker that shoots slime. I mean, okay, whatever.
What color was
this one, though?
What color was the slime, Mike?
Well, I guess that would matter. How about this one? What was Adam West thinking?
I've seen this before somewhere. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, there's a roadkill, dead cat stuffed animal.
Rough.
That's just, come on, guys.
It's just
what
rough.
Are we doing here?
That's just rough.
This is, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something with that, but it's just a Play-Doh thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. There's a.
Oh wow.
Another.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's the shocker.
Even the name, like what? Guys, come on.
You finger squirter, yeah.
I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. They say it right in the description.
Sounds like a very special movie.
Yes, it does. Toy plushies, yeah, they make poop and peace plushies. Oh yeah, the dad saddle. How about that? Anybody have that as a kid? Apparently, you're supposed to just throw it right on your dad's back and jump on and make it so he can never stand up straight ever again.
That could never be released today.
Wow.
No way.
And who would want it?
I don't know.
Mom's
this.
Yes.
I guess the flying broom. I mean, I don't really. I kind of get why it looks goofy, but it's not as bad as some of the.
I mean, forget the flying broom. They should have had like a flying Falcor, you know?
That would have been cool from Never Ending Story.
Been dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
What were they thinking about?
This one I don't get. I guess it's just Skipper going through puberty or something. You make
her
bigger.
For a second, I thought it was growing up stripper.
Well, that would have been.
Stripper Barbie.
We've seen this one before. I know we've seen this.
Oh,
the
look at this.
The finger line.
Yeah,
oh,
just
man.
a finger.
There you go.
Well, why does your aunt keep borrowing it?
Bored in the boudoir. Does your significant other want a more spicier relationship?
Oh God, I don't even know what this is, but
oh God,
you can kind of see. I guess that's the monkey or whatever those things are called from The Lion King. And is that baby Simba holding him in a very suggestive way? Oh yeah, and there's Winnie the Pooh.
That's wrong.
Well, it's just
That's
a ring
not
toss
right.
game.
He's very much
Wow.
he's
That's
very he
happy to see us.
he looks very happy. He looks very excited. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's an expression of just
yeah.
complete bliss. I mean, hey.
But you got to get there. Just get your mind out of the gutter, and you could,
You could really enjoy yourself.
Oh, here's this Superman.
Oh, wow.
The snuggler.
Yeah.
Superman
Oh,
snuggle.
yeah.
You snuggle with it. And
Well, hey, this is what
apparently
it
you do
tells us.
other
Even
things with it.
even the Man of Steel has an O face.
That is
like,
wow.
again, guys, what is the point of that?
I don't know. What is it snuggling?
I guess you're supposed to squeeze it, and he's supposed to release his atomic breath or whatever.
Oh. Yeah.
But this made it through board meetings and all sorts of other things.
That's a newer Superman logo too. So this wasn't like something from the 80s.
Yeah, right. Where
This
you
is like
think
late
they may have-
90s, early 2000s stuff.
That actually looks
Wow.
like lipstick.
It does. There are a lot of people signed off on this. Just keep that in mind.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, all right. Here's a good one. The kitty
No.
taser.
I would have had that.
Now
That would have been great for my brother.
there are so many things wrong with that. So many different.
Oh, yeah.
things. But I'm sure some sisters out there would have
Yeah.
enjoyed that.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. So they're claiming this is one of the ones where may or may not be
Look at the color.
real.
Look at the color. Wow.
You
And
can-
then who could
so it said
forget Shave the
or
Baby?
save? You can shave it? Oh my goodness.
Uh,
Shave. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's got hair all
Uh,
over on its shins and
uh,
the shoulder.
What in the
Like
hell?
uh,
obviously, it does not look like it was ever released in North America.
I
Oh,
wonder
I
if the
see.
hair grows back.
I don't know. Remember didn't they have those dolls?
it grows like a chia pet.
Because it'd be a one and done toy if he shaved it.
It does. It says right here. It kind of looks like a baby werewolf.
Good
Who would
lord.
want that?
I don't know.
Go over to eBay.
Those were the
right-
worst toys I've
Go over
ever
to
seen
eBay
in my
right now
life,
and
guys.
see how much that something like that would cost.
I bet you. Well, if it were that controversial, they're going to be expensive. We'll go over one more list because there's a couple other that I want to see what everybody's opinion is. Here you go. This is on the thumbnail.
What the hell? Is that real?
It is real.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, I'm at a loss of words, really.
I mean,
Oh wow.
Oh, this one. All right. How about
Oh
this?
yeah, look at this.
The,
aspiring
good old-
A scale.
The drug dealer magnet set. Yeah, you got a brick of cocaine, a couple joints,
That's awesome. I want to order that today. That's neat.
and you got
man.
the old
Nokia.
cell phone.
Nokia.
Yep, the old Nokia phone, a scale, because you got to have your scale.
And a razor
Master
blade.
P startup.
That's
kit.
so funny.
Yeah.
Like wow. Like yeah, like the burner phone.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. The one you just throw out your window or whatever. The cops are chasing you. Yeah. All right. Well, we can all see where this one's probably going to go. Oh, guys,
God.
come on.
It's ridiculous.
What were they thinking?
Why?
Why?
Why is it green?
Well, that too. Imagine being at the birthday party. They're like, "Hey, blow up the SpongeBob balloon."
Oh my
Oh
god.
God.
Do
Gotta
I
love
have to?
gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Hell yeah! And all right, here's another one. Here's your Wolverine blow up toy.
I
Makes you
think there
think,
it
doesn't
was just the positioning of the artwork. Well,
Probably. It
the
probably
positioning
was.
of the positioning of the whole in relation to the artwork. Like
But the SpongeBob one, come on, they could have put
Yeah,
that.
that was definitely placed there.
And we saw this one. But it's so legendary that it shows up on
Yeah.
ET's like,
Introducing ET's
I've
finger of
actually,
fun.
I've actually seen these on eBay a few times.
yeah, I
The
think we
finger
talked
of-
about it, and I think I pulled it up on eBay. I was like, I need to buy one of these. But it's like $150, and I'm like, no.
That's great.
$150.
The Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, come on. I mean, that is awesome. Every man should have a pair of those Wonder Woman scissors in his house, man. That's dope.
Wrong on so many levels.
Hey, does anybody remember the pens that used to have the bikini clad woman and then you turned it upside down and she would undress?
Yep.
Remember that?
I do.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Phil, your next walk and talk. Target looking for inappropriate toys. I don't know if they make these.
They really
Unfortunately,
don't.
These
they just sell
gems
action
anymore.
figures.
Well, I've seen this too. Yeah, when you take the foil wrapper off the chocolate Santa. Okay.
Very well endowed.
Yeah.
Wow.
That one, the 2 fingers squirter.
Yeah.
We saw that again. Oh my God, no.
That's awesome.
Pass. Tiger.
Big balls.
What the?
Tigger's got big balls.
It's poop.
Oh yeah.
It's like some sort of Play-Doh.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, that's awesome.
God.
You know what they ought to do? They ought to make it edible. That'd be even better.
Yeah, we could put a Tootsie Roll in there.
I should have probably skimmed over these before I do something I'm gonna regret. Hold on. There was one of them I didn't want to
you should let it go. I seen that.
Hold on. I'm scrolling ahead just to make sure there was something that there was something in one of them
ridiculous
that I was like, there's no way. All right, we'll bring it back.
Yeah.
So apparently, that's what the growing up skipper thing was. Apparently, it's not only she stretches out, but you can
growing up stripper Barbie.
Increase her chest
Showgirls
size,
edition Barbie.
Oh, check that! You poke it with a pencil.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That all, apparently that's all you need to do.
Fun times.
Oh yeah, and this is another one. Yeah, baby's first baby.
Oh boy,
baby's pregnant too. What? Like who?
That is literally
the boardroom.
That is literally
guys, I got an idea.
Yeah,
that's literally an after school special. I mean,
oh my God. Oh yeah, maybe we saw this one. Shave the baby. Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, who would buy something like this? Oh, the deer sings. It lifts its head and sings.
No thanks.
I mean, I guess if you're a hunter. Oh, the pole dancer Barbie doll. Oh, didn't we? Saw you mentioned that earlier. My first.
Yeah, Showgirls edition. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, baby's first mini bar. You're a great parent if you get your kid this.
Oh, alcoholism is a thing. So
you got to start them young.
Yeah.
So that was just some of the ridiculous toys that have been released, and there are many others. Yeah, Zero. I'm sure some of these may be fake, but I know a lot of them are real.
The drug dealer box set, though, man.
That's
oh my God! I want to buy one of those and
that can't be real.
And do a video unboxing it.
We got to get on eBay and find it now.
Yeah. Well, we know E.T.'s Finger of Fun was real.
That was definitely real.
Yeah, we know that.
One of these days, I will find one, and it will be sitting on my shelf back there. So that is a good question. Which of these did any of us own? Does anybody know anybody that owned any of these?
I'm not going to say.
One of these, well, yeah, maybe different variations.
I'm pleading the fifth.
One of these weeks we'll get into extremely dangerous kids' toys because there was a lot of those too.
Oh yeah, my father.
Good ideas for giveaways. Yeah, we'll get into.
I'm looking on the eBay right now, and I don't see the drug dealer kit.
No,
I'm very disappointed.
I'll be disappointed if that wasn't real. Before we sign off and go our separate ways, our good friend Jay Pace, if he's still here, which I think he is, he's the one that's sent the the what was
Pizza
it?
the Hut.
Pizza the Hut and the RoboCop action figures. Well, he found some another one. I don't know how he keeps finding this. In case you were in the market for a Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Vanilla Ice, I guess what you want to call it, like a Barbie style doll, like a G.I. Joe style.
Oh yeah.
But I did learn that
Cool
they also
as
have
ice.
an MC Hammer version of this too.
I remember the MC Hammer one.
Do you? I never saw this, but I
Wait,
mean,
that was real? Really?
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
And
wow.
this is real too. And apparently Jay was a very big Vanilla Ice fan because he done dressed up like Vanilla Ice. This is our friend
Wait,
Jay, circa, I don't know. When is this? Late 80s? Jay, if you're still there,
90,
early
91.
90s. I mean, look at that car. Look at the jacket, the hair, even the stand. Look at him. He was so proud.
Wow.
And I'm only showing this because he gave me permission. So we got to poke fun at him.
Definitely looks like Vanilla Ice back there.
Yeah. So for anybody out there, if you want to send ridiculous pictures of you of what you used to wear as a teenager,
Mike will show them.
I
If
will
you send them
absolutely
to
show
him,
it.
we'll put them up. So
Phil, I made the comment on one of your videos just recently about the Superman, the action figure that you found that was the recreation of that Superman costume, and you said you had one.
Oh yeah.
That's what made me think of this. I'm like, oh yeah. And I said, me and you for the Cleveland Gaming Classic. You're going as Superman. I'm going as Batman. We're doing the old plastic.
I was thinking about this. I will go out there if you do Cedar Point with me the next day. If we could do Cedar Point, I will come to Cleveland.
We might have to talk about that because it's not far. Cedar Point is not far.
I'm a little. It's actually an hour. I thought it would be a little closer.
It is. Well, I guess if you're coming from my direction, I would hit Cedar Point before I hit Cleveland.
Maybe we should do that first. Do Cleveland, and I'll come out later, and then we'll hook up with Jesse. Like we'll do the whole Philadelphia thing, and then we'll go
hit up.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. Stock Jock's in Cedar Point. Maybe, yeah. I've been there once. It's actually a really nice park. A lot of roller coasters. If you're into roller coasters, that's what it's known for, isn't it?
I mean, we're a month and a half away from all these parks being open again. So,
yep. That was it, guys. I know hopefully we didn't cross too many lines today, but hey, these were just toys that I didn't make these toys. Somebody else made them.
Yeah.
So I can't get in trouble for this.
Mike just shows them again. If you send Mike a picture, he will put it up.
You want to send me pictures of you dressed up like Vanilla Ice? Go right ahead. Or in your creepy, crazy Halloween costumes. I think it would be fun to see.
I will, Stock Jack. I promise.
Yeah, I might have to pop a few Dramamine or something, some motion sickness pills before. Because I don't know, man, when those things start getting all inverted and doing upside down loops.
That don't bother me.
No?
You know what bothers me? Anything going like
spinning.
in a circle.
I don't like that either. I don't like that either. But it's weird because you did say that the VR kind of gets you.
It does now.
Sick,
yeah.
huh?
It does really bad.
You said you were going to go skydiving, so
that won't bother me.
That doesn't see. He won't spin.
That won't bother
He's
me.
just going to drop
Well,
out.
hopefully not. Yeah. How about that, Gamer Fat? It's honeymoon at Cedar Point. Oh, come on back. Let's all go to Cedar Point.
I've never been there. I want to go there this year. I want to go back to Canes Island too. So if you want to do a Cincinnati trip with me, Mike, I will. I'm gonna venture out.
Cincinnati's not too far. It's only about 4 or 5 hour drive.
Hey, we'll get that Skyline chili. Have you ever had that?
No.
It's unbelievable.
Entertech water guns. Maybe we'll do that real quick, just because I'm curious.
That sounds familiar. Entertech water guns.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I after seeing these, I had one as a kid.
Are these the real fuel looking ones? Yeah.
And
they take batteries and.
Yeah, I think I had something that looked like an Uzi, and I remember my uncle bought it for me while he was in the Navy. I think he was down in Puerto Rico, and almost got detained getting back on the carrier for having that because it was so realistic looking.
I think you let him. Yeah, I think you told that story.
Did I tell that story before?
Yeah, I do remember it.
But I remember having that. But he was able to get it back. Yeah. Yeah, those are, I guess that would qualify as kind of inappropriate.
Yeah, today it would.
Yeah, now, right. Yeah, they're all black. But now anymore, the guns, they have those orange
it's all
caps
orange
on
now.
the ends. All right, guys. Well, that went by pretty quick. So
yeah, that was
I'm
good
pretty
show.
hungry.
Yeah, we didn't bring up food.
No, just that guy in the commercial who ate too much and he blew up.
Yeah.
That doesn't turn your stomach over. But I don't know. What do you guys got? Anything going on today? Anything interesting?
No, I have nothing. And I'm gonna like it. I like it.
That's okay. I hope I can just sit around and relax. Phil, you hitting the road as soon as you sign off?
Pretty soon. We're gonna do X-Men tonight. I decided.
Okay. I'm gonna fire the arcade up tonight. I'm gonna try to jump in. Zod, what about you?
I got movie work tonight, man. We're movie stuff today. Yeah.
Your release date's getting closer and closer. I mean, you're still a few months away yet, but you gonna hit the deadline?
I'm hoping. That's the plan.
Yep. Going head to head against Superman. That's right, aren't you? Or somewhere around there.
That's the plan.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for doing this again, and everybody in the chat. Thanks for getting up early and hanging out with us.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys back here in 2 weeks.
Yep.
So have a good weekend, everybody.
See you guys.
Take care, guys.
See you then.
Sit, Ubu, sit.